what makes things work is the judicial system. The fact that you can charge someone with a crime, go into court, and hopefully have an attorney that will represent you, and that's how it's all laid out. And a judge or a jury, and you've proven your case, or at least tried, and there's a record of it. That's, in my case, I was kidnapped and brought over here by the Illuminati, the Freemasons, or otherwise known as Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and Bilderbergers, the Kennedy clan, the New World Order that's in place now, Jews, the Kennedys, and they took down my father illegally, put a seal on it, 99-year seal on total lies. He was married to my mom, Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, Windsor, from Madison, Wisconsin. He never married Wallace Warfield Simpson, a lookalike, an imposter did. So, along with my Uncle George VI, illegal, they took down and made the British Empire hostages. Kidnapped me, Victoria II, and everything is illegal, all the treaties that made the Jews Israel a state, the UN came to be, and that's leaders that are caught up in whether they wanted it in the beginning or not. They became hostages or later became a part of it willingly. I don't know. But it's all illegal, all of it. And they didn't have my signature. They didn't have my father's. They brought me to this country and gave me another name. I put all this up on former YouTubes, a whole bunch of them, if anybody cares to look. Gave me the name of the twin, Peggy Ann Dixie, married to Childers. Both twins, I found out later, I found out in '83 my real name. Both twins had been killed by their mother, Lina. They were born out of wedlock. Like I say, it was a pigsty. Nobody paid for the death of the twins, and after I found out with what little few bucks I could claw and get my hands on, I told it. The media already knew about my kidnapping and who I am, and I wrote about mind control murders. I'd worked for doctors, and that's before I found out about my real name. This was 76 till April Fool Day of '80 when they put antifreeze in me, and I should have died, gone in a coma and died, been a vegetable. I was flown out to Mr. Flint, who was shot during that period of time, in Lawrenceville, and the person who shot him was programmed to shoot him, kill his attorney. I'm giving you just a background on that, where I'm coming from. I have had things done to me in a day that most people couldn't envision in a life. It's been carte blanche with the United States, and some of my family could do anything and everything they wanted to me. The fact that I've been able to withstand it is a miracle in itself. I find out my Facebook, I went to the social media, I couldn't get attorneys, the law didn't work for me, I couldn't charge anybody for anything. They'd turn around and arrest me if I tried. And this is true. I put it on YouTube. My Facebook was hacked about over a year ago, and now that I've put on there because all of this really, and about my father and photos and all of it. And now I can't even get to my Facebook. They've got my whole phone. This one I'm on is supposed to be full of viruses, and I've tried to take it off. I can't even get on my Facebook page, though. The other day, the person, I assume that's the same person, I know it is, he was pretending to be my son Mark, and there's another one that's pretending to be Scott. And it scared me because back when I had the antifreeze put in me and my ex-husband took my apartment illegally, they let him. And all of it was illegal. My bank account taken. I was afraid because there was a U.S. Marshal involved there, Marshal Cartwright, from Marietta. He owned a security firm there, but he was U.S. Marshal out of Oklahoma territory was the picture. I spent a few nights in their home with he and his wife in Marietta back in, I think it was late December of 81, I think is when it was, yeah. But anyway, I was afraid to say anything in case that's not Mark and Scott, even though I did tell some people, but I was afraid to put it on social media because I was afraid it would hurt my kids if they were in a witness protection program or something. I don't know. I mean, that works both ways. I'm a hostage held by the United States, so I don't know. You ask yourself the question. When this person out in Texas that's impersonating my son Mark, supposedly he's a Texas Ranger, and he has come on. He asked the other night before my Facebook totally went out. He asked. It came up Mark Childers as a friend, and I befriended him because God, I reached out, and maybe this is my real son that's found me. Well, it was the same person, and he had things up there that my son would never, ever, that is not my son Mark. Well, I knew it wasn't, but it's the same person that's been playing him. Now then, back in, it's before I had any money, I was down in Atlanta looking for my son, and I'd had the antifreeze. This is back after I moved here to Virginia. I'm down there on foot, and I'm not going to get into all that happened to me, just trying to find them, and it was cold. And I ended up at the Greyhound back over there and thought I'd found my son's Mark. And suddenly, well, I got on the phone with him, I thought, and he sounds just like Mark. I mean, he laughs. There is nothing out of place. He's got his background, his Social Security. So does the one that is pretending to be Scott. And I'm told, and I believe it, U.S. Marshal told me, that the one playing Scott is really a U.S. Marshal. Now, I can't get into this video is going to go off. The thing I'm saying is the one that is pretending to be Mark, there's no way that my son would ever say the things or have that thing on Facebook or any of that. And I personally know that when the one pretending to be Scott came up here, the state trooper here was the one that really told me they were going to put me in touch with them after all these years. Well, it wasn't them. But the one that's the marshal that came up and stayed for a while in 09 and 10, he actually stayed in the house, and he was just like Scott in his memory, everything just like it. He talked with the one that's Mark, pretending to be Mark out in Texas, and of all things, I live in Roanoke here, and he's supposed to live in Roanoke, Texas. I didn't even know there was one. To make a long story short, he told me before he left the one pretending to be Scott, because at the end of it, I knew it wasn't my boys. And as much as you want to find them, and a ranger with the agricultural forest ranger told me it wasn't Mark and Scott. And I put this up before. But the one that's pretending to be Scott told me that they wear masks. Well, the one that's pretending to be Mark back then actually sent me a photo with a mask off to show me. My point is, back when I was with that, before I had any money and I was on foot and it was cold, in the Greyhound bus station, I thought I'd found Mark. And here's what happened. I love coffee. I love really good coffee. That's my thing, you know. But now, Mark never liked coffee. My son Scott did, just like me. So when I thought I found Mark, he showed up at the Greyhound bus station. I thought, oh, my God, I found my sons again. They're okay. He came, and I won't get into, he knows that the murders I've spoken about done in patterns of mind control, like the shooting of Flint and George Wallace and a bunch of these, he knew it. It was one of the things he said and did. But when I can't tell, and it makes sense to you. You have to have a database. But he parked and came in. I ran to him. I thought, well, this is not. He had these huge glasses on like Wayne Williams had on